Okay, I want to say hello again everybody, it's only me, Wushu Richard, and in this video we're going to be looking at some more martial arts techniques, okay, more so focusing on tactics, okay, or a specific main tactic, okay, I'm going to talk about here. It's been a long time since I've made any real martial arts videos, especially martial arts like training tutorial or just sharing tips on actual martial arts training. I will be doing more in future, okay? In this video I'm just going to show you briefly though something, okay? And I want to remind you of the importance of this point. It's very important to understand the concept of inside and outside in the martial arts. Now if you're new to the martial arts, there's so much you need to take in, you know, hand techniques, leg techniques, all kinds of skills, okay? And if you're new to martial arts, it's going to take you a while to actually learn and understand, you know, the fundamentals of your specific style you're studying, regardless of, let alone, you know, other styles, okay, which you also need to really be taken in if you're serious about martial arts. I mean, as in be aware of different methods of fighting, the self-defense, combat, and of course working out also. But still, it doesn't matter if you're a martial arts, a newcomer to martial arts, or if you are someone who has been training for a long time. But I'm just going to stress this again for you, and I'm just going to explain something. In the martial arts, okay, it doesn't matter what martial arts, okay, it doesn't matter what style, even boxing, okay, any martial arts, we have this concept, okay, of the inside line here, which is a center line down the middle of your body, imaginarily, from the top of your head down to your groin or down to the middle of your body, in between your two shoulders. Okay, so like your face, your body here, your gut, your chest, you know, your body here, your groin obviously, anywhere between your two legs, your hips, between your two arms, inside, this is called the inside, okay, the inside. Same for the back too. And the outside would be on the sides, literally the sides here, okay. So if I was fighting you, let's say, hypothetically, if I was standing here, and if I was your opponent and I was coming at you to attack you with a punch or a kick or whatever, you know, usually we say it's better to go to the outside, because if you stay face on here with me fighting and I'm throwing all kinds of punches, kicks or whatever, you know, yeah, you can block and guard against those, but you still have the other hand or the other side to deal with. So it's basically like saying the whole body's, you know, danger, right? So a danger to you. So it's basically like, you know, when someone comes to attack you, you have the choice of just standing there and defending against whatever comes, or if you can, it's always good to move to the outside of your opponent's strike. So, you know, if we were fighting and I was coming at you, you will be better to go to this side, to the outside, so you can hit me here, you can hit me in the face, or whatever the side of my side here, you see, and you don't have to worry about the other hand or the other leg coming around. You've got a longer way to come to attack you. So it's like you don't want to be in the middle of oncoming traffic as such from two sides. You don't want to put yourself in between two dangers, you know, two dangerous things. So if you've got a group of people going to beat you up, you don't want to be in the middle, fighting somebody here, somebody from behind, or three people here, three people there. You don't want to put yourself in the middle. What you really want to do is use your surroundings, even use a wall, for example, here, so you can see where everything is. Whereas if I'm in the middle of a big room and everybody surrounds me, I'm in more trouble, right? So you use everything. If I'm fighting an opponent, if you're my opponent and I'm fighting you, and there's another guy with you, let's say you and your friend, someone standing to the right of you, and you two guys are walking up to me, I want to make sure I move to the side to deal with one of you first, to move to the outside maybe. So to fight against, to use one like a shield almost, You know, like, so I can still see, no matter how many people there are, there's nobody behind me, and I know, you know, I've got a free space and everybody's in my line of fire, so to speak, and I'm able to defend that way, in a fighting, competent manner. Now what I'm trying to say is, okay, this is the same then if you're facing one opponent, okay? So when you're doing sparring training, yeah, like free self-defense training, like blocking and guarding against attacks and coming in with counter-attacks of your own, be it grabs, pushes, pulls or strikes. When you're trying, like, if you're sparring with someone, you're trying to get that reflex, you know, sometimes you can train with like one person or two people, but it's like good to start off with one person first and then later make it up to like more people. You can find this kind of training especially in things like Aikido, Randori, and things like Ninjutsu, the Taijutsu bare hands training. My training, okay, I incorporate mostly Wing Chun. I focus on Wing Chun Kung Fu mostly. In Mandarin Chinese it's Yong Chun Chuan, Wing Chun, Wing Chun, Wing Chun, Yong Chun, okay, it's pronounced different ways, but you know, that's my main, I practice my main style of martial art. But you know, it's the same as anything though, okay? Boxers, when a boxer circles his opponent, shadow boxing, you know, the boxer will circle around to get to the outside to get those shots in. It's the same when covering up. What we're saying is when an opponent comes at you striking, you know, it's better that you move to the outside. So regardless of if the guy is punching or kicking or elbowing or kneeing or whatever he's doing, this one side of my body here, this is a danger. So I'm coming at you, you want to go that way, you should move to the outside. You don't have to run a mile away as that. It's better to come in close and trap them up when you can, or get them shots in. Otherwise, run and get the bus if you can get away. Okay, you know, so you're out of the way of the other arm or the other leg, you see what I'm saying? Whereas if you stay in the middle here, and you know, sometimes you can't help it, you know, you have to, even if there's two people. But what I'm saying is you want to treat these two sides of the opponent as like two opponents almost. So this hand and this leg's coming at you, you want to go to that side. Because if I come at you and you move over there, the other hand is you're going to have to defend against, right? Or leg, whatever. Now, in martial arts too, I believe that we should keep our movements small and effective, okay, and tight. Sometimes you want to do bigger movements of power, and the same with the stepping, you want to do small steps, but sometimes you might want to do bigger steps. It depends on how you're moving. Footwork is something you need to understand too, okay? Things like circular stepping also is very important. When I'm facing my opponent, okay, if my opponent's in front of me there, if you're standing like this in a, let's say, a right fighting stance, naturally in any martial arts stance, let's say if you're standing here now and you've got one hand in front, one leg in front, usually not crossed like that, but like right leg in front, like on the side, like, you know, one hand, one leg on this side, then you should naturally mirror me. So if you're standing like this, see, I will accordingly step. So if my left leg is in front and my left hand is in front, you should have your right hand in front and your right leg in front, or vice versa. I'm saying I should alternate. So, excuse me, I'm guarding from this side, you see, as such. I'm circling around. See, I can circle either way, but you want to move to the outside is the best thing to do. Excuse me. So what I'm trying to say is when the opponent's coming at me, I want to try to move to the outside. No matter how I'm blocking, circling this way, parrying a strike across, blocking, let's say, or if I'm going to step and like block that way with a knife hand block, or an outer like Wing Chun block here, or grabbing, going into a punch, I can do all of that. But you want to make sure you go away. When you step to the outside also, don't leave your leg still on that line there, the line of fire. Someone can sweep that away and kick your leg away. So it's best to, if you're standing there, I'm in the neutral stance here, but of course when I'm training, usually I do proper Wing Chun in a Wing Chun stance like this, and I may go to the side and do it properly, something like that. But what I'm saying, when I'm stepping, you know, what I'm trying to say is, no matter what style you're using, remember, as you go, bring your foot with you, see? If you step away, bring your foot so it can't get swept away, and go straight in. If your opponent's close up to you, you don't have to step a mile away and far back. You want to just slip off the angle off the line of fire, and just be straight focused, straight onto the guy, onto the centre. So like today I was doing some very good training with two of my students, okay? Two young college girls, okay, two students I was teaching, and we was working some very good techniques with this circle stepping, or let's just say like stepping off the line of fire, turning and striking in. And whenever an arm comes, it doesn't matter if someone's already grabbed you, just grab that to the side and hit the outside. So what I'm trying to say is, anyone though, it doesn't matter who you are, a boxer, a karate practitioner, or someone who's new to martial arts, or someone who's just into learning a bit of self-defense. But I think it's very important to understand the concept of moving to the outside, okay? Think about it this way, you want to move outside of the trouble, okay, of the danger, right? So if you've got, it's like if you're in the enemy's base, okay, if you've got the enemy, you know, the enemy's castle, and you are inside the castle, you're in more danger, right? You're in the enemy's home turf. So it's better you're on the outside. You know what I'm saying? It's like, why do you think when you see like people like snipers or archers, you know, from high up, they'll be getting a position where the enemy can't see them, they're out of the line of fire. You want to be off the line of fire, you see? Sometimes it might not be about the way or the distance, it can be many different factors that do it. So you might be looking down on the opponents. You know, you have to find the close and far and the effective and the non-effective and study it all, you know. So what I'm trying to say is, let's say for example, many people say that, you know, they argue about, is it better to be taller or shorter as a martial artist? Or you know, you're at a disadvantage because you are short, or you're at an advantage because you're tall. This is all, you know, I've always said that I think people are at an advantage if they're shorter. But it depends on the different situation. But on this, it's like, you know, it's like a monkey trying to escape. If you're trying to grab a monkey and a monkey runs under your arm, through your legs, it's hard to catch a monkey, right? So, you know, or a bird that can fly around you. So it's like, you want to be as fluid and natural as possible. If you're a bigger target, it's, you know, it's what I'm trying to say. So you need to be more elusive, you need to be more agile, okay? Flowing like air, like water, so that you can't be grabbed. When the opponent's hard, you become soft. When the opponent's soft, you become hard. Whenever, you know, you understand a lot of different things. But what I'm trying to say here is we're talking about the left and the right, right? So if I'm coming at you with this side, you go to the outside. If I'm coming at you with this side, you go to the outside there. You move across out of the way, cover, and then strike the open areas, right? With a good guard, lower body there, moving naturally on your footwork, but sometimes being rooted as you need to be, you know, fight however you can. But what I'm trying to say, okay, one point I want to say is, although we're not looking at many techniques as such in here, like you can go in elbows, knees, whatever, you can do a lot of different techniques, but I'm talking about just the basic principles of the movement, okay, going to the outside of the trouble. It's like getting out of the way of the traffic, man. Don't stand in the street, you know, go onto the pavement. That's what it's there for, you know, the safety side, you know. So what I'm saying is, and what I'm trying to say is, when someone's coming at you, you know, if someone is taller, let's say for example, if someone is, you know, taller than you, you know, this is another thing. When I say taller than you, I don't even mean with height sometimes. I mean, it depends on how you're fighting. If someone's standing very tall like that and someone's coming at you, reaching up over like this, high punches, you can see he's open here below. You might be able to go in for a takedown, a sweep, whatever martial arts you do, you know. So if someone's striking down low here, you know, or coming in with a low guard like that, you know, or a kicker, maybe he's more open here, see, on the higher area. So you need to look at everywhere, the left, the right, and where the opponent's open. If somebody's punching and they're reaching out like this, a big open, you know, movement like that, you can see the leg here is free to kick, you know. You can see the open targets. If someone's leaning over, they're easy to pull. If someone's pulling you, you can push them, you know. It's like you learn a lot of different things as you go through the martial arts training, depending on your different styles, of course. Of course, if you're learning something like a grappling art, you're going to learn more about grappling. Whereas if you're doing more like a striking, boxing type art, you're going to learn more about striking. But what I'm trying to say is, it's a similar kind of thing. You need to flow and see the openings and feel the flow of the energy, which is basically the essence of yin and yang, basically yin yang. Training. But what I'm trying to say is, that's what I'm trying to say. If someone's coming at you, if you're a short person, or let's say if someone's coming at you trying to grab your hair or trying to punch you in the face, and you're able to go into a low guard, so that every time the guy punches, you're slipping under his arms and you're hitting low, hitting to his body, you see, covering up here and knee or kicking, then you've got that there, good guard there, you see what I'm trying to say, right? Or if someone's always hitting low and you're able to maybe block low, you know, and strike high, that's another one. So you want to make sure you're out of the line of fire. So like me saying 2 opponents or 4 opponents, it's the same. If you've got 1 opponent, it's the same thing. You know, front, back, left, right, everything. So top, bottom, it's the same thing. So if someone's coming at you, you know, you see what I'm trying to say, like with one side, then this side of me is the danger. Right? It doesn't matter if I'm punching, kicking or whatever, you go to that side. If I'm doing it with this hand or this leg, you go to that side. But if I'm going up high here, you can go low. If I'm going low, then you can attack high. So you're getting out of the line of fire. You're not putting yourself between 2 sides or top and bottom. I'm saying if you're standing there, facing him on, face on there, face to face, and you have to deal with every punch the guy's giving you, punching to your face, and you're blocking, guarding against his punches, and he's going to give you low kicks to your body, and you're having to use your legs here to guard. You see what I'm trying to say? Already, you see what I'm trying to say? You're having to deal with the bottom and the top. You see what I'm trying to say? You want to quickly as possible avoid one. So obviously, if you can get a bit lower and cover up against those head shots and hit low, then you do that. So I'm trying to say, you've got to cover good against that low. And if someone's coming at you and attacking, whatever's going on upstairs, so to speak, if an opponent is standing on one leg, then they're vulnerable to being taken down. If someone's swept or getting the leg hurt or kicked, so if someone's not standing very strong, they're just standing very naturally, they're punching, if they've not got a strong stance, then again the same thing, they risk getting swept down. You might go for some kind of takedown or sweep down there, you see. So and in the martial arts, of course, we've got the striking and the blocking and striking. That's one type of training, as I've said anyway, as I was just mentioning it again to my student just recently. You've got like striking and blocking, and then also you've got sticky hands, or like pushing hands, like you see in Wing Chun, sticky hands, okay, and also Tai Chi, or Tai Chi, as I say, Tai Chi, pushing hands. And like when you flow and you feel, so you stick together when the opponent, basically it's on a street fight situation, if someone's grabbing onto you, it means when you just feel the force that's coming in. If they grab onto you, you might want to grab their arm, stick with that energy and pull as they're pushing. So you know, if they're pulling you, you just walk straight into them and give them whatever is going to be a chop, an elbow, whatever. You see, they pull my elbow and my hand comes out, snap, snap, smacks them in the face. You know what I'm trying to say? You know, my knees come in at the same time. I'm not going to walk up to him with my groin open like that so he can kick it. I make sure I cover up there. You see? If he blocks my hand, I just immediately roll over with that elbow strike. So you're using whatever comes. He pushes me from the side. I'll swing out with whatever comes, and just flowing with however I can flow into the spaces. You see what I'm trying to say? But definitely the outside thing is a good thing to keep in mind. You should really keep it in mind. That's what I'm just going to say, okay, in this video. It doesn't matter what you do, but just it doesn't matter. I'm just saying, you know, regardless of what techniques you do, locks, traps, strikes, hits of any kind, you know, I'm just saying you can just cover and even just blocking. You get the habit of when someone comes at you, even just sparring, train carefully with a partner. You know, someone comes at you, go to the outside, cover like this, and then punch. If you're doing crane blocks, it's crane blocks. If boxing, it's boxing. If it's karate, knife hand, you do that. Or like this, it's bare hand, this kind of block. If it's a Wing Chun, it's a Wing Chun. So I'm trying to say, if it's a block like that, it's a block like that. It's a grab, it's a grab. But I'm just saying, whatever, just moving a small step, taking that away, but coming in close. Don't go a mile away. Just you coming at me there. I go to the side there, cover, see, or grab and strike to the head. Well, for me, I do Wing Chun, so a straight punch. Guarding with my elbow there, knee guarding here. Not too rigid, not reaching out straight there. So I'm just getting hit in the gut, or getting my arm broken, trapped, or pull off balance. So I'll be there. And also with the elbow, it gives you a chance where if they do overreach, you can go into an arm lock as well. You can use palms or whatever. But when you're doing it, so you can chop, you can do anything. You can hit to the gut. If you're a tall person, don't go high. You might cover and then hit to the gut there, to the outside of the rib cage or whatever. You might want to go into a knee strike or a low kick or something like that. But I'm just giving you a basic understanding. If someone comes at me there, go to the outside and punch. Someone comes to hit me there, the other side. With the left hand, let's say, I'll block against that left hand, bring this foot with me, but don't be a mile away, be straight in there, doing it. See, so whenever an arm, I could be just minding my business, someone can come up to me, they might grab on me here, I might grab their elbow, grab their wrist, or grab their elbow here, hit low or hit high, someone comes to grab me here, I might grab his arm, pull it down, hit to the head, pull it up, hit to the gut there, so to get a habit of whatever comes, you just turn and hit, or step if you need to step, as I say, step into the outside, move into the outside. Sometimes you might want to just stand there, turn and hit, and just turn, whatever comes, someone comes on this side, I might block and punch, see, I'll do that. It doesn't have to be Wing Chun either, I'm just saying, different kind of moves. Someone comes out there and just cover, boxing, I just come in and hit, see. Boxing, you might want to move naturally, you know, moving, I might want to parry, slip a punch to the gut, take that, hit to the gut again, bam. Covering always, but Wing Chun, when we do Wing Chun, we're talking about using two hands to always help each other. So I might parry his attack, hit him in the gut at the same time, bang, take that, hit from there on the head, come over, I might hit that at the same time, so high, using all that root into it when I'm doing it, see. Another hand comes, I might want to take that away, so I'll grab from there, I might grab that into a chop, it might be an elbow. Someone from this angle might come to grab me now. I'm using my knee there to guard against my groin. I'm not open, see? I might try a kick, low kick if I can snap one in. I try to stand strong. I don't want to lean over and he sweeps me over. So I'll be here, someone comes to hit me, I'll block out. See? Bam. I might grab that arm, elbow across the head. Knees there against his foot, against his knee. Just trap him, see? I don't want to step away, so he's stepping away. So when you see these like circular movements that you see like in Bagua or Tai Chi, for example, with a ball, you know, when this is what all this twisting is useful. When you're doing exercises every day, when you're twisting, see, when you're doing squats for your legs to make them strong, this is what you're doing. You're getting that rotation and that rooted stance. Don't be up on your toes always, make sure you can stand rooted flat when you can. Something comes at me, it doesn't matter. Even if they grab me, I just circle there, or just stay there and circle there, it depends. I want to do that, I want to put my foot in front of his, sweeping down there. But as soon as you lift that foot up, you risk getting taken off balance or getting the other leg kicked. But what I'm trying to say is, he comes at me, I want to parry and go to the outside. So he comes to punch me, I parry it, see, as I go to the outside, or I just cut it away like that with my outer block, or there, so either way, but you're just covering. Come to hit me, I use two hands to cover there. And here, see, I could go into a knee or whatever, see? But it's just natural, see what I'm saying? It doesn't matter what style you do. Bam, chop, slap, whatever you want to do, hook, punch, see, coming at me, cover, hook, punch, cover, body shot, see, coming body shot, bam, boxing, whatever you want to do, so you're working it all in. So I'm not going to go crazy, I'm just showing you roughly, I'm not really doing much at all. But you get the idea though, see? So something comes at you straight, you go to the outside, and just get your power in a close range. But two hands is the best way to do it. Trap against the elbow. Don't grab his wrist and the elbow hits you in the face. Grab it, keep it in control. Or two hands if you need to. One against the elbow there. Or grab the elbow and then strike, or whatever. But don't lean over or this or that. And if someone grabs you, you've got to be ready. Don't be leaning over when the guy pulls you or hits you low. So you've got to have a good guard with your knees. Come in close. And when he starts to pull you, you might want to step in front, and it trips himself up. Or behind his knee, put your knee behind his even. Elbow across the ribcage, bam. This flows over straight to the head, but this hand has got to cover against the arm. Chop from there. Go into a lock. But these are the basics of that Wing Chun. As I say, someone hits me from low here, trying to block me. I step to the side, block against that hand, see? But chop it when I really do it. I might be able to get a low punch cut in there to the gut too. It's like from Wing Chun, it's also like karate kind of thing going straight in there, see? Block up again. This hand's free. In Wing Chun we use two hands to help each other. So one's trapping, one's blocking, the other one's hitting. See, one's blocking, the other one's hitting. One's, see what I'm saying? One's hitting and the other one's blocking. So they're helping each other, high, low, whatever you're doing, they're helping each other, see? So that's what I'm trying to say to you, see? And then, you know, you always free one hand. So when one hand's blocking, the other hand's free. If you use two hands to block, then you might be open to an attack. I might block here, grabbing his arm, one on the wrist, one on the elbow, but you might hit me first. So you want to make sure, if you can control a good guard with one arm in Wing Chun usually, that's what you want to do. You know, use your elbows and your wrists and hands and shoulder and all that whole thing in good control. Okay. And then the other hand, the other hand will be free. So I might be there, grab his arm, my hand is free as a guard, or I can hit. It's up to me what I want to do. I might block low and this hand's here, so you're ready to strike at the same time. I'm not going to do it simultaneously or just have it there, but my guard's there, my knee's protecting low. I'm not going to forget about it or lean over. And I sit there, see, relaxed, naturally turning a little bit if I need to. I'm not going to be too, you know, I'm not going to be too, what do you call it, exaggerated, see? Alright, so I want to say thank you very much for watching. I've shown you a few concepts there, martial arts wise, self-training. Just remember to have that concept of going to the outside. Whenever someone's coming at you, just move to the outside, cover. It's the most important thing to cover, and then see where you can attack. If you've got one hand free, it's also good, because you can use that. Hey, don't give them 50, 50, 100, give them everything. Save half for yourself at least, because that could basically be your 100, but you give them nothing, you know, nothing good, and only let them, you know, have what they want, because, you know, people that want to thieve you of your positivity only get negativity. You know what I mean, though, right? Protect yourself, keep off the line of fire, move to the outside when you need to. Just something to keep in mind, because we can't always fight when we're under that pressure. We train to be on the pressure. First, when we're training, we train like at first to stand there, rooted. That's what I train with my students. To stand there, block him against two hands, how to deal with it, you know. And again, having to deal with two opponents coming at you too, things like that. Taking that, you know, this is Wing Chun, when I'm doing Wing Chun, I'm saying, you know. And work your different techniques when you understand how to back fist, or to lock, or to chop, or low palm, so you go to the other side when you do different moves. All the basics you learn in Wing Chun, okay, you've got to remember, to make them work for you, so, or any martial art you're doing, basically. So if you're doing a block like that, see, or you're doing a block like that, see, to know how to make it work for you. So boxing, you know, you'll work the boxing techniques, it's the same thing. Okay? So thank you very much for watching, train hard and stay safe. Thanks for watching. More martial arts videos to come in future, and philosophy.